Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil Pigment, and today is my Thursday Draw With Me video, and I will link all the supplies I'm using down below. These videos go up later in the day. I am using a model photo from a place called Love Life Drawing, and you can sign up for free if you're 18 and over for model photos. I have moved on to the male form, and I am drawing a gentleman that goes by the name of Christy. And he has lovely long hair. So let's get started. I don't know if I'll be able to finish all this in 10 or so minutes. I'm definitely more comfortable drawing the female form than the male, and I did not know that. And now that I know that, I know that it takes longer for me to do gentlemen. So expectations mitigated, sort of. I'm using a polychromos. This is the geranium red. I chose this color because I never use this color, so I'm trying to use ones that I have a ton of, and I just personally don't really gravitate towards oranges. The orange color spectrum, color range. So that was my thought process behind this. It was like, if I use it up, I have other orange ones and I hardly ever use orange. So, because I am doing a no-buy art supply for the year. So, how is your June going? Are you working on any long-term projects, short-term projects? This model is so dynamic with his body and his poses. It's absolutely wonderful. Can you even see that? Oh, I have light on because it's so dark today because it has been raining. And I hope that hasn't washed this out at all. I'll try and go a little darker. Anyway, what are you working on? Are you gearing up for World Watercolor Month? I am. You know what I think I'm going to do? I was trying to think about ideas and get prepped for things ahead of time. So I feel like I'm organized and have it together and I don't feel too overwhelmed. I think I'm going to take the prompt list from Doodle Wash, and I will link that if you want to see their prompt list. And I will apply it all to dinosaurs. I have never watercolored dinosaurs before. I love dinosaurs. I think they're just amazing. So I thought it would be a really good challenge. But I think what I may have to do, because our Julys, even though I'm in the northern hemisphere and it's kind of summertime, we get really high winds and it doesn't really warm up. So, and by high winds I mean like 25 miles an hour or 40 kilometers an hour. I think that translates to. He has a ponytail that's just lovely here, an ear. But yeah, so we have really, really high winds. I think I may paint a layer in the morning, like the base layer of the dinosaur, and then go in with details and things later on in the evening when I have an opportunity to paint and draw, because I think that will allow for more time to create. I'm going to go off the camera here if I'm not careful paying attention. He's kind of standing at such a unique angle. I appreciate these models posing. Like, thank you, Christy, for doing this and creating such dynamic poses for artists to try and replicate, because I'll tell you right now, like, I would not have thought to put them in this. And the way the photography is done, it has a very high contrast. So there is floor lighting that you can add in so it doesn't look like they're floating on the page, which is also really nice. It's also something to think about. Even if there isn't lighting in what you're creating, adding sort of a drop shadow for the illustration. Hi, cat. My cat says hi. Keeps it sort of from floating. And they look more grounded on the page, if that makes sense. So, that's 5 minutes to that portion. I am not going to be able to get all the shading done. The final will be in the thumbnail and on my Instagram page. But men just have like different, there's so many different shapes and sort of bones and ribs and things that stick out that I am not used to drawing and shading, which is good. This is such good practice for my long-term and short-term goals to get better at drawing and highlighting and shading all the things. So and I can't decide for July. I'm trying to figure out what I want to paint in. I have an Etcher watercolor sketchbook that I've never used Etcher before. And then I have a Stillman and Burn, which is one of the thicker ones. It's not the Epsilon, it's one that's over 200 grams. Maybe it's the Beta that I could watercolor in as well. So I'll have to figure out what I want to do. This is sort of the back. Oh, you can't even see that. Apologies. Oh man. But yeah, it just takes me a little longer for men. I'm just not in the practice or the habit here. So that's good. It's good to work on things I didn't realize I needed to work on. But I realize in doing this sketchbook, it's not going to be like the most visually dynamic, interesting sketchbook tour when I go to do this. This is one of those sketchbook things that's 100% for me. It's for me to work on my stuff, and so it's not going to be in it of itself sort of a work of art. It's just me practicing, trying to figure out shadow, light, bones, tendons, all the different things that sort of go into a figure. And I think that's a good thing, that, you know, kind of lead by example, that not everything has to be perfect, not everything has to be sort of YouTube professional friendly. Like, just some stuff can be creating for the sake of just genuinely trying to improve certain things. And I genuinely want to improve how I draw people and how I see muscles and shape and form. I apologize. I realized I left one of my windows open, so this video is going to be a little louder than usual. But we do extra hands-on homeschool stuff on Thursday, so I can't really get these videos out earlier. Oh, there's the open hand is interesting. Shading open hands and open fingers. That's kind of a new one. Okay. That's interesting. One of the things I'm going to do is when I go back, because I have this arranged so the first 26 days I will be doing figures. It has to do with the amount of pages in this book. And I'm doing 2 figures a day, and then half of the sketchbook is the female form, half is the male form. But what I'm going to do the last 4 days is I'm going to go back and work on some of the troubleshooting areas and put it on this page. And some of the things I really need to work on that I've recognized within myself is how I do hands, especially if they're small from a distance. Fingers, finger placement, feet that are foreshortened, not just like from the side or doing sort of a ballet position on the toes, but a foreshortened pose where the foot kind of looks a little off anyway. I have a lot of trouble drawing the toes, and that's popped up in my notes. After I do these, I write a little note to myself of what I liked and didn't like and what I think I still need to work on. So when I go back these last 4 days, I will be doing hands and feet and fingers and toes and trying to figure out what parts need even more practice than what I've done. Where do I need to slow down, work bigger, concentrate on that, and just genuinely keep going, keep working. So the sketchbook's going to be very, very interesting when I'm all done. Hopefully, I feel like I'm already getting a lot out of this, and that makes me very, very happy. So I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.